Hey folks, Garrett Fisher here. I need to tell you about this absolutely mind-blowing podcast, Acting President, that's been keeping me up at night. It's about James Bennett, a former governor starring in a hit Sunday night TV show about overthrowing the government, and then his actual former chief of staff approaches him to do it for real. The line between fiction and reality completely disappears when these course correction rallies start popping up everywhere. Is it brilliant marketing or something more sinister? The parallels are insane. Trust me, this is the political thriller you didn't know you needed in your life. Acting President, available now wherever you find podcasts.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked number 1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and number 2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where who doesn't love a parade, this is Ballot.
Hi, I'm Patrick Gutfield with everything you need to know about the big parade on Saturday, but we're afraid to ask. So the Army is celebrating its 250th birthday on Saturday with a parade. And wouldn't you know it, it just happens to fall on Donald Trump's 79th birthday. What a delightful coincidence. The administration insists this timing is purely accidental, which is about as believable as someone claiming they accidentally ordered a birthday cake for themselves. Trump posted a video on Truth Social calling it an unforgeable celebration, one like you've never seen before. He added, "Just don't miss this one. It's going to be good." That's the kind of hard sell you usually hear from a carnival barker, not a president promoting military history. The parade starts at 6:30 p.m. on Constitution Avenue, featuring what organizers describe as thousands of soldiers, massive tanks and artillery, and the cacophonic rumble of vintage warplanes. Cacophonic rumble? That's like describing a symphony as organized noise. Someone in the Army's PR department clearly failed poetry class. There's a whole festival starting at 11 a.m. with kid zones, over 50 vendors, and meet and greets with Army soldiers, NFL players, influencers, and celebrities. Nothing says honoring military sacrifice quite like a TikTok star taking selfies next to a howitzer. They're also hosting an Army fitness competition from 9:30 to noon. Because nothing celebrates military history like watching civilians struggle through push-ups they haven't done since high school gym class. The entertainment lineup includes country singer Scotty Hastings, a former Army infantryman wounded in Afghanistan, country singer Noah Hicks, and DJ Nyla Simone. From wounded warrior to Nashville crooner to someone who probably learned mixing beats on YouTube. After the parade, Trump will attend an enlistment and re-enlistment ceremony. Picture this. Congratulations on joining the Army. Now watch some fireworks for the president's birthday. The whole thing wraps up with a parachute demonstration by the Golden Knights and fireworks. The Golden Knights are elite paratroopers who normally perform at major events, but now they're basically expensive birthday party entertainment. Here's what's really telling. The Navy celebrates its 250th anniversary in October, and the Marine Corps hits the same milestone in November. Neither has plans for a parade. Apparently, only the Army gets the full pageantry treatment, and purely by coincidence, they're the only branch with an anniversary that aligns with Trump's birthday. What are the chances? The parade route spans 6 blocks through central D.C., ending near the National Museum of African American History and Culture. That's either thoughtful planning or the most awkward photo opportunity in recent memory. They're live streaming the whole thing on Army social media platforms. So if you can't make it to D.C., you can watch $45 million worth of military hardware roll down Constitution Avenue from the comfort of your couch. The administration keeps insisting this parade celebrates the Army, not the president. But when your Army celebration includes country singers, influencers, and fireworks timed perfectly with your birthday, that's not military history. That's a very expensive birthday party with tanks. Here's what really happened with this parade, and the timeline tells you everything you need to know. Back on June 12th, 2024, when Joe Biden was still president and expecting to serve another term, the Army filed a modest permit for their 250th birthday celebration. The plan? 300 soldiers, 1 concert, 4 cannons, and 120 chairs. That's not a parade. That's a backyard barbecue with artillery. Then Trump got elected, and suddenly those 120 chairs turned into 28 tanks, 50 helicopters, and 6,700 soldiers. That's quite an upgrade. The Army went from planning a picnic to staging what looks like the opening ceremony of the authoritarian Olympics. The Army insists this massive expansion was their idea. As one official put it, the Army was pushing on an unlocked door. Trump's obsession with military parades goes back to 2017, when he watched France's Bastille Day celebration and told Emmanuel Macron, "We're going to have to try to top it." That's Trump. See something nice? Immediately need to make it bigger and more expensive. During his first term, Defense Secretary Jim Mattis killed Trump's parade dreams. According to a book by Mattis's former aide, the Defense Secretary privately said he'd rather swallow acid than organize Trump's parade. Mattis has since declined to comment, probably because he's still recovering from that mental image. This time around, Trump picked Pete Hegseth as Defense Secretary, someone significantly more parade-friendly than Mattis. Hegseth and the current military leadership were apparently much more receptive to rolling tanks down Constitution Avenue for the president's birthday. That's definitely not about his birthday. The Army claims they had no idea the parade would fall on Trump's 79th birthday. They say when they mentioned this coincidence in early planning meetings, Trump actually didn't want his birthday highlighted. Right. And I'm sure when they planned the Golden Knights parachute team to present Trump with an American flag, that was just another happy accident. Colonel Chris Vitale, who's overseeing the parade, insists there are no plans to sing Happy Birthday to Trump. How reassuring. The bar for presidential restraint is now, at least we're not singing to him. The whole thing now costs $45 million, up from what would have been maybe $50,000 for the original Biden-era celebration. That's a 900% budget increase, which in government spending terms is barely a rounding error, but still. Reagan National Airport will shut down for several hours. The Potomac will be closed to boat traffic, and federal workers have been told to work from home so soldiers can sleep in their downtown offices. Nothing says modest Army birthday celebration like completely shutting down the nation's capital. They're marketing within a 4-hour radius of D.C. and partnering with third-party influencers, though the Army spokesperson couldn't provide names because the computer system was down. That's either the most convenient technical difficulty in government history, or someone realized that admitting TikTok stars are promoting your military parade might not play well. The best part? Destination DC published an FAQ addressing whether this is a political event. Their answer, no, the celebration is focused on the Army's 250 years of service, not on politics. That FAQ wouldn't exist if the question wasn't obvious to everyone with functioning eyeballs. So here we are, a modest Army birthday party that somehow became a $45 million presidential spectacular featuring tanks, helicopters, and paratroopers delivering birthday presents. The Army insists it's not political. Trump insists it's not about his birthday, and everyone else insists on pretending this is all perfectly normal. The only thing missing from this celebration is someone jumping out of a cake. Although, given the trajectory of this planning process, that's probably scheduled for the finale.
What happens when one of the most powerful men in music is accused of some of the most serious crimes imaginable? Check out the new podcast, Did He Do It? Following the federal sex crimes trial of Sean Diddy Combs, coming to you straight from New York City. Every day I'll take you inside the courtroom where prosecutors say Combs ran a criminal enterprise of sex trafficking, coercion, and abuse, using his fame, fortune, and influence to silence victims and control lives. We'll cover the big stories and the small moments that can shift the verdict. The trial has begun. The questions are piling up, and every day we'll be asking the same thing. Did he do it? Follow now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Washington is bracing for what officials are calling an enormous turnout for Saturday's military parade. And by enormous, they mean potentially overwhelming. The Secret Service is preparing for hundreds of thousands of people, with one official noting, if 1 million people show up, then we're going to have some lines. 1 million people. For context, that's roughly the population of Montana showing up to watch tanks roll down Constitution Avenue for Trump's 79th birthday. That's definitely just an Army celebration. They're installing 18 miles of anti-scale fencing around D.C. 18 miles. That's enough fencing to circle the entire island of Manhattan. The event has been designated a National Special Security Event, the same classification given to presidential inaugurations and state funerals. So we've officially elevated Trump's not birthday parade to the security level of burying a head of state. 175 magnetometers will be deployed at security checkpoints. For comparison, most major airports have maybe a dozen. But then again, most airports don't feature 60-ton M1 Abrams battle tanks as entertainment. Metropolitan Police Chief Pamela Smith is warning of major impacts to traffic and advising people to take the metro instead of driving. That's government speak for the city will be completely gridlocked because we're rolling artillery through downtown. The timing is particularly interesting. As Deputy Mayor Lindsay Appia put it, the city had long-standing plans for the Army birthday celebration, but those plans got a lot bigger on short notice when Trump got involved. Short notice? They had 8 months to plan this thing. That's not short notice. That's careful choreography. There are no credible threats to the event, which is reassuring until you realize they're deploying multiple drones over a city that's normally a complete no-fly zone for drones. Apparently, the threat level is simultaneously low enough for no credible threats, but high enough to militarize the airspace. The Secret Service says they have a robust plan for civil disobedience, which sounds like they're expecting the No Kings rally and other counter-protests to be significant. So this Saturday, if you're planning to visit the nation's capital, expect 18 miles of fencing, 175 metal detectors, multiple drone surveillance, complete traffic gridlock, and the possibility of 1 million people showing up to watch the Army celebrate its birthday by giving Donald Trump the military parade he's wanted since 2017. Just remember, it's definitely not about his birthday. The timing is purely coincidental. The 60-ton tanks are for historical accuracy, and the fact that it requires inauguration-level security is just because Americans really, really love Army history.
When the world's most powerful people go to war, we can't look away. Welcome to Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback, the podcast tracking the explosive conflicts shaping our world right now. Presidential administrations fracturing, tech billionaires threatening government leaders, entertainment titans destroying partnerships with single social media posts. These aren't just headlines. They're windows into how power really works. We deliver daily episodes when news explodes, weekly deep dives for perspective. From Washington power struggles to Silicon Valley vendettas, we decode the psychology behind the drama and reveal why these feuds matter far beyond entertainment. Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback. Today's conflicts are tomorrow's history. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
You know the silhouette, the squint, the voice that cuts like a blade. Clint Eastwood isn't just a movie star, he's a myth, a mayor, a cultural fault line, and maybe the last great American icon. Eastwood Reloaded tells his story one chapter at a time. The hits, the flops, the chaos between the scenes. Because legends aren't born, they're built. Eastwood Reloaded. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.